By now, you probably have heard that YouTube made this very bizarre post the day before I shot this video about a change in, it was just, again, odd timing as it always is, a change in how they handle their dislikes. Now, dislikes and likes have been a fundamental part of this site since forever. It is what it exists to do. That's going to be up to whoever is like, however you interpret that. I can understand that. I'd never even liked the idea when they added that feature to where you could remove them. This not only in addition to disabling the comments, you can also remove them completely from any video that you post to the public, which I wasn't a big fan of that move either, but it is what it is. Now, despite having that option there, the weird thing is that they're saying that they're going to entertain this. And here's what they're saying in response to creator feedback, which I just simply don't believe that. When we say creator feedback, who are we talking about here? Are we talking about, did they mean like corporate feedback? Did they mean Hollywood feedback? Because I just don't envision a world where a bunch of creators en masse thought that this was a great idea. I just don't believe that. But they say in response to creator feedback around well-being and targeted dislike campaigns, we're testing a few new designs that don't show public dislike count. If you're a part of this small experiment, you might spot one of these designs in the coming week. And as you can see right here in the design, this is upvotes. They keep the upvotes, but they get rid of the dislikes. Huh. That's kind of weird. Now, I responded to someone here, well, YouTube, because they responded to someone else, because I wanted to see what exactly they were talking about, right? And there you go, like right here, YouTube following up on that previous post. They say, creators, you'll still be able to see what exact numbers of likes and dislikes, so you can see it in the YouTube studio. This the public can't see it. So you could see it, but the public can't see it. Yeah, just a bizarre thing. And I responded because they responded to someone, Team YouTube, which is the one that really kind of interacts with the creators a lot more on Twitter. It says, viewer feedback is an important part of YouTube, but we've heard from creators that the current experience can negatively impact their well-being. So I don't know, people get so caught up in their like to dislike ratio that they are emotionally or mentally or physically distraught over it. That's a little weird, man. And look, to act like you are responsible rather to managing someone else's expectations, because I would think you take into consideration that, well, a lot of us are fine with, you know, I have some videos that get a lot of likes and some video gets more disliked than others because some people disagree with what it was that I had to say, whatever. We also know that public dislike counts sometimes motivate targeted campaigns of dislikes on some videos. So this is what I responded with. What is a targeted campaign? And what data do you have that shows it is a problem worth changing a fundamental part of the site over? This doesn't make sense, guys. You understand this, right? Because even if, okay, we talk about dislikes and dislike, like and dislike counts, and it impacting people's well-being, you just confirmed that the people can see it in the YouTube studio still. So what does that didn't even make sense? None of this makes sense when you consider the fact that, well, they could disable all of that anyway. You already gave them the option to do that, which I didn't disagree with. Oh, excuse me, which I did disagree with. Either way you gave it to them, why do you need to try to change everybody's page, or rather the entire site, over that, considering that you gave the option to those who are just so emotionally distraught and their well-being is just hurt because of people publicly view. See, this is bullcrap. And they think you stupid. They think you're stupid. They think you're dumb. What is a targeted dislike campaign, by the way? Are there targeted like campaigns? why is this all of a sudden pop up when you see Joe Biden and like every video they do on the White House YouTube getting ratioed? Or Lucasfilms puts fade in. Fade in. And they get ratioed to the oblivion because nobody's interested. What is a targeted campaign? What is that? Could you not say the same thing about people going to tell people to go upvote or like somebody's stuff? Wouldn't that be a targeted like campaign? I guess maybe it doesn't impact people's well-being. It's almost like you're trying to muddy up numbers here, man, or have a reason to. It's weird because, I mean, imagine a lot of most people are doing this are adults, or at least there's an adult involved in it. I mean, they have to be to kind of be a part of the partner program to get paid. So it's a public site in the sense that that's what made YouTube, right? Creator, public site where people can just post stuff and, they discover other people, other creators. That's what the site is about. So to change something fundamental like that, which has been there from the get-go for the most part, it leads me to believe that something else is up. We're not stupid. Like, I don't know how stupid. Maybe some people are, because there are people actually defending this. Not a lot of them, but there are some people like, oh, this is a great idea. Why? Because you don't want people. And I said, this is why, like, when we talk about creative feedback, who? Again, was it leftists? Leftists that get ratio? Was that who we talking about? Were those the ones that were getting? Because, I mean, you didn't change your site when people were coming to, like, rate, like, let's say, what do you call it? Was it a targeted campaign where people would come report my page and I get 2 strikes on my? Was that a targeted campaign? You do anything to fix that? I don't know. The option to still report my stuff is still there. What about those issues, or me, or Ethan? EVS. What about that? Those seem pretty targeted to me. Where people are getting the attempted deplatforming, where people go tell folks, literally go tell their audience, hey, report this person's video. That seems like a targeted campaign. I don't know if the likes or dislikes have anything to do with that. Maybe it's your report feature and how that works. Seems like you didn't overhaul that. We have evidence of that existing, but this arbitrary, like, targeted campaign, what are they talking about? Targeted dislike. Apparently there's just a bunch of creators that are just telling people, hey, you need to go downvote their stuff, and then that person, I don't know, offs themselves. I can't say that doesn't happen ever. It maybe happens, but to the point, to the degree, which is all we're looking at it in context. We have to. Is it happening to the point to where the site's worth completely changing it after you've already given people the option to turn that stuff off, disable the comments, and turn it off anyway? No. That's why it doesn't make sense, because that option is there. So if they were really distraught over it, they can just disable it. They can still view it in the YouTube studio. You just confirmed that even after this change went in place. So there's no reason for that. No. They think we stupid. They think we stupid, bro. They think we stupid. Nah, this ain't got nothing to do with creative feedback, and everything to do with people with a lot of money, handlers maybe, not liking the fact that, what it reminds me a lot of? What happened with Rotten Tomatoes changing their entire site over Captain Marvel. That's what it feels like. So where it's like, well, they'll never admit it, of course. It just happened to happen during that time, right? Just coincidence. Right. They'll never admit that that's why they changed it. They'll never admit that, okay, maybe it was Lucasfilm, maybe it was Biden campaign or White House. Who knows? They'll never admit it. They'll just say, oh, no, that had nothing to do with it. It was just, we just were looking over the data and all. They'll never admit. That's what it sounds a lot like, though. The whole thing with Rotten Tomatoes just changes their entire site because they didn't like the fact that people were saying that they weren't excited for this movie before it came out. YouTube is it goes just to them thinking that you're stupid, because none of it makes sense when you consider it in its context, right? Let's go through it just real quick. They can already disable comments and likes. You already gave them the option. So if that was something that they were distraught over, why would you change that for everybody? Right? If they already have the option there, why would you change it for everybody? The whole entire site, why would you do that? Right? So they already gave the option. And on top of that, if it was about seeing their likes and being emotionally distraught over their likes, if that's what it really was about, you just confirmed that they can still do it. They can still see it in the YouTube studio. None of this makes sense because it has nothing to do with creator feedback. Someone that's a handler doesn't like it, and they are willing to change the entire, they have enough power to change the entire site over. God forbid people look and see and see likes versus dislikes and all of that publicly. Unless you're trying to sit up here and do something specifically for a specific demographic of people. That's the only reason you do that, after you had already before given people the option to disable comments and to disable likes and thumbs down. Yeah, you don't change that fair. It's almost like you don't want people to see good ratios versus bad ones. That's all this is about. Stop acting like we're stupid, YouTube. I am a creator on your platform. Actually, I'm one of the OG creators. I've been here since I was 16 years old. And I'm saying this is fucking stupid. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.